with that, here we go again with another night of Crone's Crucible and Curse of Strahd. Welcome to everybody. Everybody's on camera for once tonight, which is always a neat thing. We don't usually get that, so I will be able to get their videos up very quickly tonight. Yay! Here we go. We have people. Welcome, welcome to everybody. When we left off before Thanksgiving, they had finished up with Berez. Quite a battle that they had. Some of the battles were pretty annoying because she loved bringing every mosquito in 9 counties into the fight. So it got pretty interesting at points with all the swarms of mosquitoes. But they managed to bring her down, which was not an easy thing to do. And for those of you who didn't see it, Epotus, also known as Kyle, received my first ever incentive award that I ever gave because he figured out something that was a little tricky to figure out. So he got an incentive award on that last one. So he's got that hanging around to be used when he feels like getting a few extra points on his setup. So it ought to be great when he decides to use it. We take up tonight, they have returned to Vallaki because they needed to recuperate just a bit. Things were pretty beat up. They needed rest time. They needed to repair stuff and get their rations up and so forth because they'd been out quite a while. So as we start up tonight, we are in the Blue Water Inn. You are meeting, it is the night, you arrived back mid-afternoon. It is the night between your stay there in Vallaki. You'll have the usual rooms at the inn should you choose to use them. And the Mardikovs are meeting with you to get information about what has gone on and where they stand so that they can inform their Order of the Raven people what is currently happening and what might be going on soon. So you are free. You have rolled out a map of Barovia in front of you, which you can refer to if you request it. And what would you like to inform the Mardikovs about or ask them for information as you decide where you're going to go next?
First off, Vlad and Epotus' usual shink shink has been replaced with a full-on clank clank.
Yes, they are plated.
I'm just gonna sit up from the table, from the spot that I'm at the table, and just listen and go like, "Hark! I hear the marching of the kettles."
I like to imagine Epotus and Vlad walking up and like kicking in the door and just standing there, hands on the hips.
We just
Quite
roll
sunlight
here.
gleaming off of their plate. Yep, animes.
And yet I still have more AC than both of you.
That's actually not true.
That is not true at all.
I will.
Will you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it is not this day.
You are not prepared. Anyway.
Alright.
Thank you, Liam.
I believe the next order of business is to decide where to go next. We have just finished in Berez, and we have cleansed the evil from that place. Baba Lasagna is no more.
She raises an eyebrow. What is this lasagna of which you speak?
I think he's mispronouncing the saga.
Here's to my cup for tonight.
So we're gonna start a new drinking game. Everyone take a shot every time Mink messes up the name of Baba Saga.
Oh man, okay. I'll have to like.
You are not
yeah.
prepared.
Yep.
Let's see how many times you don't do it. Or better yet, take the drink every time he gets it right.
So Baba Saga has been permanently eliminated from this land?
I
I
pulled off the
hope
head
so.
from my belt. I
As
still had
far
that
as we
attached
know.
to my belt. I'm holding her head.
If she can come back from this, then I'm gonna be.
This is good. We will send a message to the others to begin cleansing that village. Perhaps it can one day be useful again.
Didn't some of the feathered friends take something off to the Wizards of Wine?
The gem.
They did.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
ravens took the gem to the... The
Yes, there was-
ravens that we freed from Bereds were able to take the other gem that we found in the huts back to the winery.
Oh, this
At
is
least we hope it's
great news. Oh, I had not heard that yet. We had not yet gotten the message from them. This will mean that production will be almost back to completely normal.
I was going to suggest that maybe seeing if you can send a message to them if you haven't heard from them yet.
I can send a message to them.
If they have received their gem yet.
I will
mean, I
do this
could.
immediately. I will send the ravens.
I can send a much quicker message, as long
Not
as
bad.
it is short.
I don't know if it's you're in range for that. It's kind of a limited range.
No, it is not.
Pretty sure mine is.
Is there someone waiting to be let in?
Danica kind of looks up. No, I'm sorry. I was speaking with someone outside. It is fine.
Danica was making the cocking, the
She
bird
was
noises?
not, but there was a cawing noise outside as she was seemingly a bit unfocused for a moment.
Danica, are you able to speak with these birds telepathically?
We are all able to speak with each other reasonably well, but not over long distances. For the distance to the winery, I must send a messenger, which I have done, but we can speak to the ravens within a mile or so.
This is a very useful talent. Wish I had known about this before.
There are many things about the Order of Ravens you do not yet know.
Well, I would hope to learn more. What was that, Sylvia?
Nothing. It's just one of those policies: don't ask, don't tell. If you don't inquire, you'll never learn.
In any case, Vlad looks back down at the map of Barovia. And burps. Now that we have finished Perez, I believe we all are looking for a little bit of rest. But tomorrow, I believe we are going to set off for Argynvostholt.
He mispronounced that. It's Angry Vast House.
This is Vlad's face.
Remember, I read that broken down sign. That's what the sign said.
In any case,
that's where we'll be heading.
I remember you telling us about there once being a silver dragon and an army of knights that stood against Strahd and that.
There were indeed many, perhaps a century or two ago. It is not within the memory of any of the normal people of this land, but there was a great silver dragon that was said to protect Barovia, and even after the Dreadlord began to take over the land and cage it in so we could not leave, the dragon still kept people safe. But he was killed by a great army that Strahd called upon him. Victor O'Seeley, have you checked what I told you earlier?
Yeah, so I think at some point, Victor would kind of go through the book and want to tell the party about kind of the stuff that had appeared.
Well, what we don't know what that.
Yeah, do I have like a handout?
It's in player handouts, and let me see exactly where it is. Yeah, I gave it to you when you picked it up. Text handouts, player handouts.
Is it handout from the Tome of Strahd?
Yes. Everything but the last two lines were what you could have read before. The last two paragraphs, lines, whatever, are the recent additions that have appeared in the tome.
Alright, let's see.
Is it possible that this dragon could have been reanimated in service to Strahd?
It might be good if you take a look at this book with me when we have a moment.
Didn't we already discuss the book? It just went on about what's it?
Not so much anymore. It seems to cover Mount Gaucus and Argynvostholt.
That could be very useful indeed. What does it say?
Let me swap you over to the Barovian map so you can see locations a bit and know what it is that you are looking at. I will slide this out. Okay. Put you guys on it and you'll be able to see it.
Perhaps it just makes sense for me to read it then.
Please, I'd rather not touch the book.
I sought power, and they called to me. From ancient depths I felt their power. I traveled to the Amber Temple, from whence came their voices. The road curved and climbed, making a lengthy switchback into the edge of Mount Gaucus. The air grew colder, not warmer, and patches of snow became more frequent until they were unbroken. Yet I would not be deterred. Really, this is just kind of ridiculous. He seems to make himself the main character, but I guess that is to be expected. He's very full of himself.
Well, it is his diary, of course.
Yes, I agree, disembodied voice of fate. Argynvostholt was arrogant, just Argynvost. Was arrogant in his certainty, but he underestimated. I drew upon all the powers now at my command. We arrayed outside his walls, and his knights taunted us. What amusement! I was looking at dead men. Before another hour passed, I had sent them wailing on their way to a rotting hell. All of them. Argynvost has become my eternal trophy. So there you have it.
The eternal what?
Eternal trophy. Like a prize. You put it on your shelf.
I know what a trophy is.
It's
for the first time in weeks, I wasn't able to understand what the hell you were.
Oh my god! In the future,
I'm not sure how to take that.
You can take that however you want.
Okay, my soul is dying right now. Can I just, please, in the future, if we're gonna have someone read, at least give it to the bard.
I gave you plenty of time to volunteer. What do you want?
I didn't know what you were talking about.
He's like, oh, I gave you plenty of time.
What, you guys couldn't understand what he said?
I understood
They
it. It's
haven't known me
just
as long as you have, Tira.
it's just such a terrible read.
You've got a feel for it. He had to read all that in that swallowing frog voice.
I could understand him perfectly fine.
Just my soul is dying.
In
I
any
didn't
case,
think I did you that hard.
Would it be better if Darrock reads it?
no.
Oh dear.
There, you have a shot at it, Tira.
No, it would not.
Are you saying I can't read?
No.
I'm
dude,
saying
dude,
that
Okay,
reading it
okay.
again would be
Hold-
of no use.
Hold.
I'm gonna crawl under the table and just pretend to die.
We're moving on. Okay, so essentially, Strahd conquered the place.
It seems the name of this dragon is Argynvostholt.
It is not
And-
certain she looks like she's trying very hard to remember stories, and she's just, her brow is furrowed and she's trying to remember. The
Oh yes, by the way,
stories
we
are,
found Strahd's diary.
so I see from what he said, but the stories speak of Argynvost as the Lord of the Hold, but they are confusing. It seems almost as if he could summon a dragon. I do not really know what he was or who he was, but he had great power. It appears from this reading that in some way Lord Argynvost has become a prisoner of Strahd, or is in some way permanently... I do not know.
I think that Argynvost was the dragon who was able to turn into a human. I know that there
That
are
would
several.
be more. That would be my guess as well.
I know that are several types of powerful dragons who have polymorphing ability.
The dragon was said to be brilliantly silver, and he was said to be wealthy beyond imagining, but no one has ever dared walk into that hold to find out if the stories are true.
Well, we'll let you know.
You would think as much as Strahd congratulates himself in this book, you would think he would say something about Argynvost being a dragon. He doesn't really refer to it much.
That is curious indeed.
Maybe a foe not worthy of recognition. Someone that caused him great deals of pain.
Or someone that cost him too much to deal with, and he's embarrassed to.
In any
Could be
case,
that as well.
I'm afraid of what type of trophy this may be. If he is one of your types of trophies, Tirak, maybe not so much trouble, but if it is a trophy appropriate to the theme of this lands, maybe a little bit more trouble.
Erwin leans forward and sets his forearms on the table and looks at you, and he says, "It is my understanding that the silver dragon, whether he was indeed Lord Argynvost or not, that the silver dragon was immensely powerful and fought against him for many, many years. He had arrayed a whole army of what were called the Silver Knights, and they were great and powerful men. It took all of Strahd's strength to bring him down."
Strength, it seems, that he found at this Amber Temple.
Well, according to the map, it looks like.
It's the map. It's the map. It's the...
Please, just must you do that every now? So we have Argynvostholt here, and the temple is down here. And when we were in Berez, these, I don't remember, I wasn't really paying much attention. Were these cliffs scalable?
Sealy, I will. The answer would be no, and they'll tell you that in a moment. But
with
Sealy, I will tell you that on this map, each one of those markers is 1,000 feet. Mount Gacchus is about 7,000 feet. The Amber Temple is somewhat below that, probably 4,000 or 5,000 feet, and it is quite a climb. Are they scalable? Yes, but it would take pinions and pitons.
It would take a lot of work.
It would take a lot of work to scale them. Yes.
I would say that would probably be right up Durak's alley. That he would.
Well,
just
that's something that we haven't done this campaign yet.
Or we could
Well,
just take
no.
the
Saying
road.
that, like, Derek would be able to do this, but with the whole party, that would not be doable because he doesn't know the
Yeah.
climbing abilities of everyone else. He could do it himself.
Yeah,
Or
I
we
think
could just take
Kinda
the road.
walk up.
Well, yeah, no, he wants to keep the party together. We would take the path.
oh yeah, screw that. No, I could just turn my mount into a goat and go up.
Yeah, no, just turn your just use your horse. This is Skyrim.
That was a good one.
All right, but essentially, my thought is Argynvostholt is rather close. Actually, if we have issues there, we can get back to Vallaki easily enough, and then after Argynvostholt, then we'll go to the Amber Dome.
Yeah, these were my thoughts as well.
Danica speaks up and she says, before you travel to the Amber Temple, be aware it is very high in a land that is already cold. Do not travel there without warmth.
We'll make sure to. Well, then the question is: do we want to gear up for the Amber Temple on the way to Argynvostholt, or do we want to handle Argynvostholt, return to Vallaki, and then go to the temple? Because that seems to be the essentially the.
I don't
The
see
two
why
different-
we would need to return to Vallaki other than to gear up after we're finished at Argynvostholt.
Well, that's my question. Do we want to gather
We might as
our
well
the
gear up
cold
now.
weather gear before we go to Argynvostholt, or do we want to wait until afterwards so we don't have to take it to Argynvostholt? I'm fine with it.
Don't know. You and I already have our cloaks, which are able to keep us warm rather well.
Duroc says after it would be easier to not have to lug all that weight there, and then all the way to Argynvost, whatever words you're saying, the wrong words.
I
We
should
could-
be
we could
fine for
probably-
cold weather, but maybe we get
Because
a
if we-
nice turtle.
If we get into trouble at the keep, it'd be better that we don't have that much weight on us.
Well, my thought is that anything that we could, since we're going to be scaling a mountain, we could leave any unnecessary gear behind as well before we head to
Maybe
the Amber.
we could all wrap ourselves in blankets like Victor.
Meta.
Danica and Erwin say, they start to talk together, and then he motions to her. She says, it is only about 5 miles to Argynvostholt. However, it is closer to 20 to get to the Amber Temple.
That would
I'm
take-
thinking definitely Argynvostholt then.
20 miles, that would be what, half a day, a day?
If you are
I'd say like a
mounted,
day just to get there.
if you are mounted, it would be the better part of a day. If you are on foot, you would be camping overnight
Okay.
because of the terrain.
If you three want to get cold weather gear before we leave, I'd be okay to wait for that. Apotis and I already have all we need.
Roughly how cold does it get?
It rarely goes above freezing up there, and it frequently drops well below.
Okay.
Well, I'm exhausted, and I'm going to bed. I will see you all in the morning.
She will
And-
hand you the key to the suite of rooms that you have on where you go up the outside of the inn and go into that suite of rooms that you've been renting. As usual, I have
will
kept them for
return
you.
to the barracks.
Vlad is going to hand the key to Apotis and say, I think I will try to find other sleeping quarters tonight.
The key to what?
Just the rooms upstairs.
Might hand him to somebody.
I'm not.
He's
He's
going.
not-
He's going to keep.
I'm
I'm going back. Did you not hear what I just said? 8 minutes.
I hold my hand out to Vlad.
Dirok.
Thank you.
No, I legitimately did not hear what you said 8 minutes ago.
Oh, it's typical.
You know,
Alex is gone. Now it's you.
Like
I
in
think all
paradise?
that shininess right there is just it's doing something. It's playing with your head.
Yeah, Ippoda said he was going back to the headquarters to sleep.
Oh,
Typical
okay.
humans. Never
And of
listen.
course,
Ah.
Victor has his own accommodations. Sylvia, I assume you are going to use the room accommodations, and Dirok is.
I'm gonna use the inn, and I'm just I'll turn to
Then
Danica and go. Is it
Vlad will
possible to
hand
get a
key
hot
to
bath?
And where does Victor wish to go spend the night, as if I didn't know?
Yeah, he'll be out in his cart.
Did I say Victor? Vlad,
Yes.
I mean Vlad. Where is Vlad spending the night?
Vlad is going to go and knock on the doors of the infirmary. Actually, it's an
Oh,
open
right.
thing. He'll just walk in because it's not a private sanctuary.
You are rather surprised to find a young Barovian woman seated at like a receptionist desk as you walk in. And she looks
This
up
is new.
and she walks up and she looks up and smiles at you and says, "Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Home for Wayward Children."
Denied.
I thought this was beg my pardon. I thought this was an infirmary. Of
Well,
sorts.
it has been filled with so many children of late that she is mostly focusing her attention on the needs of the children now. It takes up most of her time.
Are there any sick or injured here that need attention?
Occasionally we do get them. If they are not able to be cared for by the father, we will take care of them. We have set a few rooms aside for that purpose when we need it. But of late, we've had very little trouble. It's been wonderful.
So you have no one in need of attention currently?
No one in the infirmary portion? No, sir.
All right. Well then. Why are you still awake? It is the middle of the night.
Oh, we have shifts at all hours, sir. I only serve the night shift. She has hired 3 of us to take care of the desk. Some of the maids from the former Lady Wachter have been hired here.
Oh, that is actually very good. It is good to see that they have been able to find new employment after the events that occurred in the...
Yes, sir.
In any case, it is good to know what is going on here now, and it is good to know that these children are finding a home, especially after what they have been through. I will take my leave. Good night. And Vlad
Very
will turn to
well.
leave.
Should I inform the Lady Irena that you are here?
I thought she was in the church proper.
No, she has residence here.
Oh, then very much so, yes, please.
Very well.
Listen, Vlad is cool. Mike is not. Okay?
I've been really trying.
Oh, love
I'm
is
just
in the
waiting
air.
Hearing that conversation is wah wah wah
True.
wah.
I'm just waiting for the ultimate block right now. It's like I've already said it in chat. I'm not repeating the words.
I
But-
saw what you said in chat, and I decided not to respond to it.
Oh, I know you're not gonna respond to it. You can on stream, but still.
Vlad is going to rub this scruffy beard that's starting to grow, considering that he hasn't been able to shave the entire time he's been in Barovia.
The peach fuzz.
He's like 30 years old. It's a full beard.
Not in only a matter of days.
Hey,
And we've been here like two,
Okay.
3 weeks.
yeah.
Usually
Oh, you've
for some
been
of the
more like more than a month really when you add it up and all the travel that you've done and everything. It's probably over a month now.
He
Um,
definitely
in
has
that
some
ca-
facial hair growing.
In that case, Dirok's full-grown beard is now longer, and he's probably tied a braid into it
It's
now.
a Viking. It's a Viking beard.
It's a
at this point.
Viking beard.
It's a Viking
Right.
beard.
Um,
His mohawk's also gone into a ponytail.
The receptionist gets up from the desk and leaves it and goes upstairs and is gone for a while. You hear some voices talking upstairs, you know. Oh, I don't know.
She was there this whole
I'm
time.
cringing so hard on myself.
Good, you should be.
And pretty soon you see Irena coming down the stairs. She's dressed in a very attractive gown, but not a formal gown, just a very pretty gown. And she comes down and she holds her hand out to you in a ladylike way and says, "Why, Vlad, I'm so glad you have returned safely. I was concerned. You have been away at very dangerous places."
Dangerous places, yes. But not too dangerous for me. And Vlad will take her hands, lean in to kiss it, and as he releases it, he druid crafts a rose into her hand.
She looks at it very startled and smiles. That is
Sorcery.
Sorcery,
beautiful.
black magic, kill it with fire.
That it is odd. I almost feel like I have had that done before, but I don't know where.
Meanwhile, back at the inn, Sylvia suddenly says something. Damn it, my prank senses are tingling.
Meanwhile, at
There's
the
a reason I
Dawnwatch
do not
HQ.
come here with you all anymore.
Meanwhile, at the Dawnwatch HQ.
There's a reason I do not come here with you anymore.
Oh dear. Okay.
Shenanigan meters are going off.
Irina does invite you to spend the night in one of the infirmary beds if you would like to remain.
not in the sense you were aiming for.
He accepts. And he would also invite himself, ask if she would like to hear about all that has happened in the time that he has been gone.
She accepts quite readily, and she takes you into the kitchen initially where she makes a pot of tea for you, and then she pours cups of tea and sits down at the kitchen table. You are interrupted only briefly one time when there's suddenly a spate of massive giggling. And she gets up and she sweeps out of the kitchen, and you hear her scolding a bunch of children who, when they see her coming up the stairs, you hear little feet going, thumpity, 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 running back to their beds real fast. But they have apparently been watching over the railing as all this went on.
Vlad will cast Thaumaturgy and cause harmless tremors on the ground as they run back up the stairs.
And
You're no fun.
they don't seem to be frightened. They just seem to giggle more, and you hear her going, "Shush, shush, back to bed now. It's late." And then she comes back into the kitchen, and the two of you are able to share the stories of what went on during your time away. Does
It seems that
anything
you have become...
even close to so dramatic happen to Dirok or Sylvia?
Dirok pulls out his book.
Take it back.
Hey, Durak, do you ever get the feeling that you should be someplace else at the entire moment? Like something important is happening and you're just not there to take care of it?
Every single day. I say, as I pull out my book.
If Vlad returns to us smiling, one of us needs to trip him.
Or I could just hit him again.
Or he won't return at all.
Wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine.
But yeah, no, I think it is kind of dramatic. I pulled out the book.
The one that
Why
Sylvia
are
was
you
afraid
reading
of
it?
first.
The-
Why are
the-
you reading
the-
it?
Well, no, I haven't read it yet. I haven't opened it.
No, she's just asking. It's based. She's not even looking up. She's just like, why are you gonna read it?
Well, because it's a book.
That is a fair answer, to be.
No, you're right. You're right.
I
But
opened the
is that-
cover.
Make a
You know-
wisdom saving.
You know, I'm gonna let you do it because something has to happen tonight that's gonna go wrong, and this might as well be it.
What could go wrong? I look. What am I reading?
You are reading gobbledygook. There's a bunch of strange symbols and words and things in that book that just, they aren't in common. They don't seem to be in anything you recognize. Every once in a while, as you flip through the pages, you will see a paragraph explaining something, and it just seems very disjointed, and as if, you know what, give me an insight roll for him.
Okay, and just to let you know, it's common, orc, and giant that I do understand.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Okay. Where is insight? Oh, right here. What did I roll? A 9. Sounds about right for Derek.
you
God
don't
bless
understand
all.
why. You just don't have the insight to understand why, but it sounds to you like somebody was just running on in nonsense, making up things as they went. It just doesn't seem to make much sense. But
This looks
Sylvia,
like
unlike what you feared, he doesn't seem to have any kind of effect occurring.
Yeah, I'm flipping through the pages. This looks like a book made by a child.
Can I see?
I hold the book out for her to be able to see as well.
For the viewers, this book was one that they picked up in the library or basement of Wachter House when just after Lady Wachter had been killed, and they had discovered her demonic cult that she had down there. They picked this up, and Sylvia was familiar with the title of this book and was quite worried about Derek reading it.
Do I recognize anything from the pages that he has shown me? So I am taking a look.
How high is your magic level?
What do you mean magic level?
Do you have any levels of mage or only levels of bard?
Only bard.
You vaguely recognize it as magical symbols, but what little you have been around it, and from your demonic studies in your past background stuff that you had encountered, this looks like it's all gibberish and made up. It doesn't connect to anything you've seen before.
Huh. Okay, so from what I'm reading here, what it's saying is you draw this giant circle thing here, you put a little bit of salt, a little bit of like some sulfur powder, and a few other things, and you put a chicken in the middle, and it's supposed to make a bigger chicken. But you gotta kind of like clap your hands together and just really, really focus hard on it.
Does it have to be alive or dead?
It doesn't specify. I'm
'Cause
assuming
this-
dead.
This could solve a lot of hunger problems.
Possibly.
We should give this to the Mardikovs. we should give this to them.
I
we should
mean,
give this to the Mardikovs.
there are two solutions to that problem.
We should give this to the Mardikovs. They could probably do great with dinners at their tavern now. I closed the book and I'm gonna go out to find the Mardikovs.
Literally, clearly, as he goes, I don't know what I do with myself.
I leave the room. She hasn't stopped me.
I'm not stopping him. I'm just crying at this point. Attaboy.
I'm looking for the Mardikovs if they're still awake.
Actually, no, they have retired for the night. The front inn doors are actually locked, which is the first time you've found them that way. But you've never been at the inn this late. It's after midnight.
Okay. I'll go back to the room and I'll try to find them in the morning quick before we leave.
Sylvia, give me an insight for your character to see what you understand of what's going on there.
Oh man, sorry, I'm crying just a little bit. Insight, you said?
Insight.
Insight. Huh.
21. Sylvia looks at this, and to her, now she's not the best mage in the world, and she doesn't know all the spells, hasn't seen everything, but she has enough background in demonic spells that she's encountered in her other experiences that this just doesn't look anything like it, and she has the suspicion that this was a bunch of gobbledygook put in a book to make it look like it was something important.
He's not magically inclined, I'm safe. Oh, by the way, as an FYI, if you didn't catch the Full Metal Alchemist reference, shame on you.
Turns out he's he's been multi-classed as a warlock this whole. and you just gave him what his patron needed. You've doomed us all.
Yeah, he's gonna try that, and it's gonna fail. I'm just gonna say, you're just not magical. Oh, I needed that. I needed someone to trick. Oh, that's great.
It's not hard to trick Darok.
No, but she feels bad, but not that bad.
She should feel bad.
Vlad's not here as a target of her aggression.
You put this like a typical angry older person wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And
I do not.
You're not angry.
But yeah, I guess I go to sleep then.
Okay. So
Get my sleep.
you those at the inn wake up in the morning to the sound of many ravens cawing upon the roof, probably looking for breakfast, and you can hear Danica humming outside downstairs. She's apparently throwing crumbs out to the birds. And there is the sound and smell of breakfast cooking down below. It is probably about 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock, just before the breakfast crowd arrives.
I wake up, get myself ready, grab my book, and I head down to find Urin or Danica.
Vlad wakes up to the pitter-patter of children's feet.
Yes, you would immediately... Vlad wakes up to very suddenly as 4 children pile on him all at once.
Who's this?
He also doesn't see drawings on his face.
There's a little weird squiggly with another weird squiggly in it. Kind of.
I like to think like they drew marker on his eyebrows coming down and just like to the corner of his mouth and one coming out of his nose.
And they giggle as they wake you up, and they
Sylvia, this is a PG show.
She didn't say anything.
Exactly.
And one of them kind of pounds happily on your chest and jumps off and runs off in the direction of the kitchen.
Hey kid, would you like to see a trick?
Yes, I'd love to see a trick.
I cast Thaumaturgy, and Vlad's ice blue eyes turn to gold.
Oh, that is a good trick. Can you make my eyes turn gold?
I can't make your eyes turn gold. But if you're true to Lathander and follow Father Petrovich's teachings, you can do it yourself.
Oh, I will. I will ask him to help me. That's wonderful.
Lynn.
Bad Lynn.
Nothing is
Bad
on
Lynn.
stream.
Stop now.
Nothing is on stream. I'm being good. I'm not saying anything.
Not being
I know
good.
you're not.
She's being good on stream,
Yes.
See?
not on Discord.
Yes. All right.
That's not what my sign was for.
Focus. Focus.
I need to start countering Vlad.
POTUS, when he wakes up and is done with his morning routine, he goes around and he starts trying to like gather everybody. Hey, get your ass. We got
And
a
big-
long way to go.
Being around you when you woke up, you had a lot of soldiers, many of whom were already in full armor and were up getting the morning chores done, handling horses in the stable and what have you.
Yeah, he knows his party's lazy as hell and doesn't get up until like 7. So
Just double checking. Are we going to cold
going to-
area or
we're going to Argynvostholt first, and then we're going to
Yes.
return and get ready to go to cold area.
Yes.
So we're going.
Okay, so we're not going to cold area yet.
Cold prep later.
Okay, that's what I just wanted to double check because I was going to say something next, but
All right, breakfast is ready for any of you who have not eaten. I assume Irina would feed Vlad, but any of the rest of you, if POTUS didn't eat in the barracks area, then he would find breakfast at the inn as usual. At this point, probably a tip is all that's really needed. You know, a few silvers tip for the Mardikovs, because they tend to give it to you for just about cost.
I give him a gold.
I do the same as well because I asked also for like a hot bath and got that probably last night.
They
She
would
wants to
smile
scrub
and thank you very much for the extra payment. Oh, this is most welcome. We will be able to keep well stocked even here in Barovia.
By
I
the
would like
way,
to add- I would like to add that I did not get a chance to say this for the previous night. While myself and Irina were drinking tea, I would have offered her one of my good berries, which tasted like the sweetest honey. Because I can choose what flavor it is.
Roses and good berries. Oh, this is serious, folks.
Victor wanders in at this point, sparkling and looking very sexy and suave.
okay,
And he
yeah,
casts Fairy Fire on himself
Smells
again.
like sweet ambrosia.
Oh, Victor, you
do
finally
you-
covered up the.
Yeah. Did you wander into the inn or to the home for wayward children?
Yes.
Someday, children, if you take a bath too.
Victor casts Fairy Fire on himself again.
anyways, Derek grabs his book. By the way, Danica, Sylvia showed me that this book is used for trying to increase the size of chickens. This could probably be useful for your meals here.
I'm just going to pretend like I'm biting into ham or bacon and then just shake my head at her like, no, it is not. Just quietly giving that signal. It's like, just accept it. No.
Danica looks at Dirok a couple of seconds and glances over at Sylvia and back at Dirok, and she turns the book around where she can read it, and her eyes kind of scan across it for a bit, and she goes, "This, yes, there is an enlarging chicken here, but I'm not sure it would work, actually. This is all.
Oh,
There is not much useful in this book."
oh, I'm sorry.
I like to think that Derek is actually remorseful about this.
I am. I thought I had something useful for them, and turns out that no, I was lied to.
You don't know this.
No, I don't know this yet.
Dirok will
Exactly.
remember this.
I mean, will Derek really remember this?
probably
He
not.
wasn't slighted. He wasn't
Probably.
slighted.
Probably not.
Yeah, she's not putting you down. She's just agreeing more or less with what Sylvia had told you, that the book seems to be full of a lot of just useless stuff. Garbage, gibberish.
If it's not very useful, it could be used better for kindling.
Yes, that might not be a bad idea, but where did you get this strange book?
From what's her name? Voctor.
Oh,
When we killed her and her minions, I found this on one of their bodies.
how very strange. This is the most odd book. Yes, I think it is probably very much better used for kindling. An excellent idea, Diran.
Sorry, it couldn't be more useful. I thought the spells would probably work.
If they do, it will be the strangest things I've ever seen, but maybe we will try putting some salt around the chicken and see if it works. But mostly I put salt around the chicken in a pan.
Okay.
It is about this time that Vlad walks in. Crack, crack, crack. Good morning. How are you all today?
So, how are the kids?
Religious.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that sounds wrong. In any case, I believe I've set them on the path of the thunder with some simple tricks of mine.
Oh, they definitely set you on the path to something, and she points to your forehead.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you know,
Epotus
just kids being kids.
Epotus comes back from cleaning up and goes, "Oh, Vlad, you're here. Go."
What are you all giggling at?
Derek's even giggling.
You know,
I'm trying to
Here,
hide.
hold on here. And Epotus takes his shield, like takes his sash and kind of buffs it a bit and holds it up like.
So you have a mirror in front of your face.
Pardon me. I will be right back. And I walk into the kitchen.
There will be a pan full of water, dishwater, and
So
what
I
have
can
you
wash
there.
this charcoal off my face.
Yep.
Because they don't have Sharpies.
Yeah, they don't
Luckily.
have permanent markers. It would be charcoal.
they have like paint.
A permanent charcoal.
They did it with acrylic.
It's permanent charcoal called Sharpay.
Epotus, remind me to give each of the kids about 5 gold later. Nah, 1 gold piece.
And lots of
They are
lollipops.
Generosity is astounding.
I gotta keep some money for myself. If we're traveling around, we're doing stuff, I gotta buy things.
To be
I just
fair,
have to
we're
pay
mostly
them.
getting everything for.
Here we are. But, I mean, I just have to thank them. I need to thank them. Because, damn, they listen to me really good.
Vlad walks out of the kitchen, his freshly scrubbed face still dripping. Well, this explains why Irina was chuckling this. In any case, I believe we should leave now.
Very well.
Agreed.
Are you traveling
It's
with
fun
horses?
to be me.
I believe
I
so.
think so.
It's only 5 miles there, so it won't take you very long at all. It'll take you under an hour to get there, even though there's a little bit of a climb up to the hill on which Argynvostholt sits. It overlooks the Luna River, as most of these things do. And as you come around the bend towards the hold, you are able to see the flooded remains of Berez below you. You can look right down into the ruins that remain. So the thoughts of where you have just been would be probably on your mind. As you come around the bend and approach the driveway, the entryway, the first thing that you see as you see the manor, the mansion up on the hill, it is made out of a very heavy granite. It's a dramatic building which has seen better times. There are holes in walls, especially on the upper floors and things. There's a lot of damage to the building. It's obvious that it has been bombarded by something in past times. But sitting directly in the middle of a circular carriageway in front of the area is a large granite cube about 10 feet on a side. And perched atop the large granite cube is a massive statue of a dragon in a silver marble. It's beautifully done, and it is facing at the manor with its mouth slightly open. One second, let me get a picture up here. It'll be down here in this one, I think.
Would Epotus, based on the depiction of the statue, be able to get a read for, like, about how old the dragon looks?
The dragon would have been, it was certainly adult, and would probably be well into adult. Give me a, I guess, history check on it. History is not quite right in your case. But
maybe just a proficient intelligence check.
Yeah, maybe so, because it would be more in terms of
family history check.
Yeah.
We'll just add 2 to this.
You also get
so
a
18.
D4.
Being that you are a dragonborn, you would feel that it was not an ancient dragon, but it was certainly a fully mature dragon that would have had decent powers when it was here, if this was indeed the dragon that was involved here. It's somewhere here. There's where I think it is.
So, I doubt he was an elder, but he was definitely in his power by the.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that's, for some reason, it's not showing on this page.
There
only on
is.
the other one.
Yeah, so now that we're finally here, I'm more convinced than ever that Argynvostholt was definitely the dragon. No dragon this old.
From the beginning.
No dragon this old would tolerate being someone else's aid.
Being someone else's pet.
Essentially.
I'm going to try
Unless
that
they
again
were-
on the picture, because it only did on a side thing for me, and I want the video to see it. So I'm gonna try. There we go. Now they can see it.
Not unless they were benevolent. I know that some dragons are considered good in certain lands.
Did Epotus keep the sun sword after Berez, or did he hand it off?
He's got.
He still got it? Okay.
The second thing that you notice, as you crest the hill, the dragon is up so high on this pedestal that it's the first thing that you notice coming into view. But as you crest the hill a little bit and come into more view of the driveway itself, your eyes are drawn to 3 horsemen, live horsemen, sitting in front of the statue on their horses.
Are they live? Vlad flips down the eye patch of death perception.
They are entirely alive, and you recognize one of them. They are all 3 clearly Vistani. They are mounted on Vistani horses with tassels and bells and things on them. And staring straight at the dragon statue with his back to you is Aragol. Beside him are 2 they grab their weapons and go to attention. They apparently are like bodyguards.
And I can only see my icon, my horse's icon. I can't see anything.
Erigol's the ally, right? Not the father of the
Argol
girl.
is the horseman who was the girl's uncle.
The one that's going to be
Yes.
our
Our unlikely ally. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Let me turn off the thing that restricts it. The inside of the building is dark, but when I take off the global illumination, you can't see the outside either, which is not
Yay.
what I want. All right, so now you can see the entranceway to it. Behind the statue, away from you, are massive granite steps going up into the castle. The dragon is facing directly at the castle, and with its mouth agape like this. It's got open like it was about to bite something or other. There are great big massive wooden doors with iron banding on them and iron hinges that are somewhat rusting, stone railings that go up on either side of these massive stone steps to these very large double doors as you come up to the thing. It is very clear to anyone that this was intended to be a very astounding first impression of the castle to try and impress people as they came up to the circular drive visiting.
Aragorn.
He turns slowly with a kind of an arrogant attitude to look at you. Well, if it is not my friends from the camp, what brings you up to my future home?
There's been some time since we've seen you. What has transpired in this time?
Oh, the Vistani way. We come, we go, we hunt. We do as we wish. Why are you here? You did not answer my question.
We are here to explore. We were told that this place once was the home of a great order of knights and a dragon that resisted Strahd. We were hoping to find something, information perhaps, that would aid us in the battle.
Well, once it has been cleared by Strahd or whoever, I plan on having this as my home one day, you know. Or perhaps I will have the one up there on that great mount. And he points up towards Ravenloft itself.
Grand dreams you have, don't you?
Yes, but I understand you are supposed to be all powerful. You are going to bring him down and, well, I will need to live somewhere.
Keeping in mind that you are going to be helping us, I would be happy to give you a reward once this is settled.
But of course, yes, I would accept a reward, as you say.
In any case, what brings you here today? I do not think it is mere coincidence that we meet.
Actually, it probably is. I came up, I had nothing else to do down at the camp, and I rode up to see what my future home would look like. It needs repair, yes? And he motions to the damage on the south side of the building. I don't know whether I will simply tear that down or whether I will rebuild it, but it does need a lot of work.
It does seem rather drafty.
Well,
Curious. I would not think that a Vestani would want someplace so stable.
Yes, well, not all Vistani wish to sleep with horses for the rest of their lives.
knock on the plate armor of Vlad, like, hey, everybody wants a home at some point. If he wants to try and make this his home, Who are we to stop him?
I have no objections. I'm simply here to find what we may.
There we go. We search for answers. He's more than welcome to keep pretty much everything else.
I go like I'm about to say something, and then I just.
That depends on what we find inside.
Well, I mean, if it's useful for us doing our job, then that I would assume would be fair enough to be ours. I mean, you know, if anything, we're actually helping him. We're actually doing him a favor. We're clearing it out of anything that could be problematic.
Indeed. And I don't suppose you would be willing to aid us in clearing out your future home. Or are you simply sightseeing?
I am simply sightseeing at this point. You have my permission to clear out the manor.
Well,
That
since
was-
we now
I
have
see.
your permission.
Epotus's head tilts ever so slightly.
Since we now have your permission, would you mind caring for our horses while we are inside?
Certainly.
I hear
I
you are
will
very
I think
tie them to the statue, but I intend to return to the camp.
I believe that would be best. Vlad dismounts and starts to lead his horse to the statue.
Epotus dismounts as well, and then the horse starts moving towards where we're setting up our stuff, and then almost seems to take up a guard position.
And Aragol motions with a kind of a imperious, quick hand motion to his two bodyguards, and they file out past you, with Aragol looking kind of smirkily at you as he rides past.
I just give him another scuff. Or
A pleasure to
What-
see you again, Aragol. How is your brother and niece, by the way?
Oh, she is very well. She is looking forward to her future life.
Once they're gone, Vlad will say, I believe I know now where the girl gets her attitude from.
Well,
Did he leave? Is he out of ear range?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
have waited until he was gone to say that.
Yeah, he would be now out of range.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so best way to handle him, make him think that he's getting the best deal that he's getting, and let him go about his business. People with that much arrogance, not even worth trying to argue with. Trust me,
I'm
I've
That
seen
people
it.
with that-
disinclined to acquiesce to his request.
People that have that kind of arrogance will always want more. And more.
Yeah, but the problem is that depending on how far he reaches, he's gonna get smacked down. It'll happen. It's called karma. It's a wonderful thing.
Anybody that wants to read just a tiny bit more between the lines of what his expression indicated
Epotus is doing
can
that.
do
Yeah.
an insight
Same.
roll.
I've been watching him intently this whole time.
And
Inside!
I will cast guidance on myself.
you all do pretty well on your insight rolls, and you can tell that he had a definite
Total of 31.
attitude that he knows you need him because of the prophecy that tied him into it, and he knows he can push it as far as he wants because you need him.
They may think that Derek doesn't.
We need him. For now.
It's a marriage of convenience. It'll all be over soon.
Prophecy doesn't say we need him alive to do this. We could
I
bring his
kinda
corpse
thought.
along.
It kind of does.
Look,
In any case, we are
let's
here
not
now.
murder a bunch of people that don't need to get murdered. Let's just let the assholes be assholes. Pardon my French.
Unfortunately, we cannot kill every person that we do not.
You can't.
So basically,
I always will.
honestly, the only question I really have right now, I'm not even thinking about him, is the front door or that busted open.
I'm
kind of
thinking the
thinking the busted
busted
tower.
open
Yeah.
section. I've never thought that striding into the front door of a hostile environment, potentially a hostile environment, was a good.
As
Okay,
you
yeah.
approach the front doors, you now see there is a curved stone lintel above these doors, and it reads very clearly Argynvostholt in very large dramatic letters.
And then I point Vlad, I kind of like give him an elbow to get his attention. Look, see? I was right. This is a house. It's very angry looking and it is vast.
Angry
Yeah.
vast house.
So who wants to do the whole magic-y thing of detecting all the bad stuff that we don't want to come across?
You do detect magic, and there is some kind of evocation or something similar to it coming from behind you.
From the doors, from the behind us, from the statue.
Yes.
Vlad spins around.
I
Awful.
look
Sylvia.
around with him.
Sylvia,
Yeah, what?
this statue is magical. Would you be able to tell what it is?
Do I look like a mage?
You
Kind of.
well, I saw you being. I saw you. I saw you identifying our items before.
I mean,
I
that's
did
items.
not
This
know
is
if you were able
The
to do
statue.
this.
I think that might require someone a little bit more arcanical knowledgeable than myself. I mean, I could dispel it and just see what happens, but
I don't. It's not bothering us currently. I don't think it would be a good idea to just mess with this magic.
I'm going to go over to where the statue is and look for any sort of plaque or carving that could distinctly explain what's up with the statue and why is it facing the house.
The only thing you find is a plaque that says, "Under the protection of Argynvost."
Huh.
Is it the stat? Okay, so it gives off an aura. Is it the statue of the dragon itself, or is it the dragon and the marble block?
The statue of the dragon itself.
Huh. What do I need to roll to examine it further to see if there's anything distinct about the
Cast
feature?
identify on the statue.
I don't think it works like that.
It does though. That's the spell.
Is it?
It is. You can identify an object. This is an object, technically.
Yes, she identifies a statue. It is indeed a statue. Didn't think of that, did you?
Let's see how that identify is worded here. Let's take a
Oh,
look
if it
at
is
that.
a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. So if the statue is magic, she can learn what the statue technically would be.
Yes, the way it is worded, you would know what properties this magic object would have.
Okay. How tall is the thing on the pedestal to where... just how tall is this thing?
The cube
Sylvia
is
need a
10
boost.
feet tall. The dragon is then another 10 or more feet above that, and so the mouth would be easily 20 feet above the ground.
Can I get a lift?
I go over and I lift her up.
I'm gonna climb onto the base of the statue and sit by its feet and just kind of like pat the claw and cast Identify.
You can tell that this was some kind of device that was used to cast a magic projectile or magic spell towards the door. There seems to give me An intelligence check. Is intelligence your spell basis?
Oh, mine is all charisma based.
Give me a charisma roll then. Let me see how much from your spell base you would recognize.
Okay,
Straight
that's just
charisma roll.
Okay. Is it?
Nice.
It looks like part of the spell as you look at it closely. You're looking into the nether of the spell. And as you look at the identification of this that surrounds it, it looks as if part of the aura is completely missing. It should have been like a complete aura around the dragon, but there's like this hole in the aura so that part of the spell is just not there.
Okay, so it might be broken?
Well, if it is broken, it is not going to harm us.
Well,
Unless
See, that's-
that point is where the magic comes from, like a cannon.
Maybe it needs to be loaded. But the real question is, why is it facing the hole?
From what I'm able to figure, or at least what I'm able to sense with this thing, it's supposed to do something with those doors. And she's just gonna point to the ones up ahead. But
The
there's
plaque
something
says that
there's,
this is supposed to protect.
there's something missing in the magic. There's like a weird little, like someone erased a word type deal in a sentence. Like an important word that makes it all flow and connect together.
That will cast Sacred Flame on the statue.
Hey, I'm still up here.
Oh. Sylvia! Get down from there for a second. I'm going to try something.
Oh, it's a comfy seat. Just
It
like
is bare
carefully
stone.
jump down.
You must have the most comfortable butt in the world.
Why are you staring
Wow.
at it? Damn.
That is solid stone. I cannot be comfortable.
You don't travel like I do you?
Apparently not.
Yeah, okay. I'm climbing down the steps.
She says that her feet are on Dirok's shoulders, and he's like, "This isn't very comfortable either."
I climbed up and was sitting on the statue base, so I would have been off
Yep.
Dirok's shoulders.
So,
at that point.
Okay.
yeah, I would have tried to catch her to get her down.
Alright, once Sylvia is off the statue, then I will cast.
Sacred Flame.
Yes.
It hits the statue. There is a kind of a sparking on the statue, and for just a moment there is like what almost looks like fog that comes out of the dragon's nostrils.
I pull Sylvia back away further from the statue.
But nothing actually happens.
I'm gonna whistle for the horses to follow me.
Nothing happens.
Well, we've wasted enough time.
One more thing. I'm grabbing the javelin and I'm throwing it at the door.
Immediately, straight over your heads, comes a blast of cold. But it, like, wimps out, and it only goes about half the distance to the door, and it's almost as if the stone dragon coughed at the end of it, and all you feel is like little snow particles slowly drift down onto your shoulders.
Oh.
That's what I thought it was going to do.
Would POTUS recognize this as like a defense mechanism for if somebody's trying to break open?
Now he would, as he does this, he realizes that this was a protection device if somebody was attempting to break into the castle. But it appears that it is not fully functioning, and it's not having its power that it once did.
This
I-
explains why they went through the south instead of through the main. Breaking open a door
Can
is usually
I-
easier than breaking open a wall.
Can I look around and see if there may have been other traces of someone trying to get those doors open and that thing possibly going off before we had gotten here?
No, there doesn't. There are. It's hard to tell. And even with a
Yeah, I mean-
very high perception roll, it's very difficult to tell because the wall and the doors are battle scarred. So it doesn't look like any of them are very recent.
I was just trying to. I guess to elaborate just a little bit, I was trying to see if Smuggy McSmuggerton had figured out something with the dragon, and the reason why he left with a big old smirk on his face. He's like, they're gonna get hit by this thing.
Nothing that overtly tells you that he did or didn't. It just,
Okay.
he obviously was very curious about the dragon itself and was studying it, so you could basically surmise that he had some kind of idea about it, but that's about all you can get out of the information that you've got.
Hookity.
I'm gonna leave the javelin there and start walking towards that broken down part of the castle house thing.
That does the same.
I'm not gonna risk trying to grab that javelin and then that dragon thing decides to work fully.
Vlad
So-
will flip down his eye patch of death before they go in.
Hmm.
As you approach the broken tower area that you are approaching, you can see through openings that you can get into the castle. However, it is quite dark inside the castle itself. Duroc probably would have very little trouble seeing, but there is no light that you see other than where windows or ruined areas might provide a little bit of light. So you can see, even though you can see pretty well in this part because so much of the roof is gone, you can tell that the castle itself is probably going to be pretty dark.
That's fine. I bring my own light. I cast light on Durok's shield.
No,
It happened.
Get it off! I'm waving my shield. Get it off! I'm waving my shield until he gets it off.
I will drop the light spell.
He doesn't want
Thank
to
you.
have a beacon on him.
Yes, I want
Stop.
to sneak
No.
ahead.
Get it
Painting
off.
Stop
Like
painting
the old
targets on
WoW
your
cartoon with the person with the arrow over his head for the quest.
Arrow.
It's like batting it, trying to get it off.
If you want something to shine the light on, here's a rock, and he picks up a rock and hands it to Vlad. That way, and it's small enough that you can hold it in your hand like this, and then you can tuck it away when we're not using.
Or I can do this. Like cast light on the rock and then throws the rock into the room.
There, see, now it's not on us.
Flashbang!
You need to seriously work on the element of surprise.
Exactly.
What is that?
Oh my god.
This is
We are two heavy clanking men in our.
Yeah, really.
But I'm not. I
Their
could at
stealth
least get,
went to like 0.
I could at least possibly get some kind of surprise. Which,
If
by the
you
way,
two-
I'm gonna roll stealth so that I can hopefully
Do
sneak
I
in
have
front.
that thing that I hope I
If you two
have?
feel like sneaking ahead
Victor,
is a
where
good
are
idea,
you?
Well, I would be.
I think I'm gonna stick with Duroc for the moment.
Well, we need to see where you are. You're missing.
Oh, whoops, I hadn't,
Move with my icon. It's like, here's the thing, right?
There we go.
We're not trying to sneak ahead of anybody, but we're also trying not to announce us to whatever might be living in here, so we can kind of scout and get an idea. Oh shit, there's something huge that's going to eat me, or oh wait, coast is clear.
Which
The
is
moment
exactly
you
what Derek is trying to do.
see, but the moment you go and do things like make the window shutters blast open and do all this loud shenanigans, you kind of screw everyone else over. For a cleric, you really don't think about more than yourself, do you? She's just going to follow Durak into the building.
Alright, I'm gonna roll stealth. That's a very good stealth.
As he is trying to
You are
climb,
so loud. You ruin the rest of us. She follows
as
Durak.
he's climbing over,
I wasn't expecting all the rubble.
as he's climbing over the rubble, his foot slips and he slithers down, bringing a bunch of boards and loose material with him onto the ground. Everyone roll perception for hearing.
Perception.
14.
Shazam!
18.
I
There,
actually rolled really low.
the immediately following all the noise, all of you that rolled 14 or above, I guess Vlad is busy trying to grab Durak or whatever, but those of you who rolled 14 or
No,
above,
17.
I guess Vlad
Guided.
as well, you suddenly hear a multitude sound of chittering.
POTUS, to the door. And I'm gonna move to the door as well.
Yeah, POTUS kind of joins them.
Well,
Oh,
would
I-
we hear it from inside or from this outside of this
It
other
is
kind of
No,
entry?
it is inside on the other
Okay.
side of that wall that you are next to.
Okay.
Pardon me, DM, since I rolled far superior than the rest of my party. Sorry. Can I identify what the skittering sound is?
It sounds, having come just from Berez, you would say it sounds insectoid.
Oh, great.
Why? That escaped all that. She's just gonna make faces and just kind of like cringe quietly.
I go to a POTUS. I open the door. You bash through, or do you open the door and I bash through?
There are no closed doors there. I don't know what the.
It's just
It's like half open to me on
Okay,
my
yeah,
screen.
yeah, okay. But you don't have to open it to get in there. You can walk in. It doesn't have to be moved.
Okay.
you go in first. I'll shoot from behind and follow.
Okay. And I go on ahead through the. Oh nope, I cannot go through the door.
Okay, I'll push you through in a moment. Durak, give me a straight dex roll, please.
Straight dexterity.
Yes.
Ew, not a good one. A 9.
Actually, it beats an 8. Um,
Yeah.
You, having been forewarned with the sounds that you heard, you have the wherewithal to look up. And clinging to the ceiling are numerous webs and extremely large spiders all over the ceiling. They are easily the size of Durak, each one of them, and there are a lot of them.
Shelob.
Pretty much.
She lobs.
I don't like this place at all.
Oh, damn.
I still can't go through.
Yep, let me now move you through here. I'm going on to the correct thing, and I'll have to let me take that door off and see if you are able to move through when it's not there, possibly.
You might not be putting yourself through the right place because I can move my token through.
No, I'm like, oh yeah, okay,
See?
that's probably it. Okay, all right. It was because I was trying to force my way through the door.
Yeah, walking through walls generally doesn't go very well.
Well, he was trying to go through a door, yeah, but I took the door completely off of the resistance thing. And yes, Sylvia, before you ask the question, you can also move around that way.
Yeah, no, that was just putting myself into position because I was like, huh, I'll stand here, and then I was like, oh wait.
All right, roll for initiative.
I'm gonna love being on my barbarian again.
Click that icon.
Every time.
Damn it.
Every single time.
Oh my god!
And
2
ignore
bad rolls.
Ignore the spider that's out in the yard. It is not really there. It is a figment of your imagination, used only for rolls. Thank you.
They're coming from behind.
They got Starsky, they got Hutch. I'm going down.
What is this? Wait, what is this? No, I can't go before Dirok.
Right?
Not too late, you already are.
I think that's the first time this entire campaign.
That you've rolled most of us? Yes.
And he's also in front of me, so I can't move easily.
Just push him over.
We can move through each other, we just can't move through
And
enemies.
you can move further in. The enemies are not in front of you. They are on the ceiling 10 feet above you. This is a large, what looks like it was probably a ballroom with what little you can see of it remaining. There's some torn draperies and decorations hanging that looks like it was once something very formal. But they are clinging to this tall ceiling about 10 feet above you. And yes, there are 9 of them as you look around quickly and count. All right, so let me see where I rolled, but they are not on there. Why are they not on there? Come on now. Don't know why the spiders are not coming up on there. Apparently when I use the secondary one, they refuse to come up. Why is that? Let me go to the other one and do it. It's not nice of them to do it that way. Makes it very hard. Come on, roll 20. You're running slow. Thank you. Alright. Initiative.
By the way, Apo, you're not just going before Dirok. You're at the top of the turn order.
Holy.
Yeah.
Right.
It is still not on there. Let me just add it directly. I don't know why it's not. That doesn't. Let me see if it's giving me any. Not giving me any error messages. First roll was a 16. Okay, so let's just add turn since it wants to fight. Now we will do this. There we go. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Am I able to see them?
If you kind of look through the door and crane your neck, if he says, they're up above us or something like this, yeah, you could probably spot at least a few of them if you get the right view. He's kind of in the way at the moment, but it wouldn't take but a moment to see where they are.
I mean, yeah, the only other questions I have are they're up about how high up off the floor are they?
The ceiling is 10 feet.
Ceiling is 10 feet. Okay, and do I see any webbing?
Yes. There is webbing
Okay.
on the ground in front of what looked to be old fireplaces. There's webbing on the ceiling. There's webbing stretching from portions of the broken wall. But the main portion, except for this right here, The main portion of the floor is fairly open.
Okay, so it looks like, I mean, I'm like heavily shaded, so it looks like it's kind of this whole, like it's a donut of.
For what the
Let me move
placement of the
Girok in
spiders?
just a bit because he could,
here.
and let
There we go,
Epotus
okay.
see a little
There.
better there.
Oh, here. Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
like right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Epotus. Well, he'll just start this off straightforwardly and chill touch. Probably the furthest one.
Okay. And I'm looking to see if there's any resistances involved here, which it doesn't look like there are. So that hits for 13. And this is incorrect. I have to look at something just a minute. Therefore, yeah, 44. Better change that. Okay. All right, there we go. And so he does 13 damage to that spider.
Yep.
It hisses and immediately starts turning to move towards you. And I've got to hold on just a minute. I'm going to do something and do a quick replace because I had something set wrong.
Crazy question. Can you still see those things from the hole in the wall on the other side, or?
You can see them from outside. If you get just right, there would be some of the ceiling area hanging down, but it doesn't take much movement for you to spot that they are in that location. So yeah, they're pretty readily, they're so large that they're pretty easy to spot.
Is there a small stupid question, and my apologies for the distraction. Is there like a subtle sound being played, like a wind noise in the background?
There is
Yes.
indeed. There's a wind blowing through the ruins of this, a very eerie kind of sound, almost depressing sound. That the wind almost seems to have a voice of its own.
Okay, I was just double checking because I wasn't sure if it was windy in real life or if it was windy in the story. So I was like, am I hearing stuff?
And then as a bonus action, he'll look at Dirok and say, go. And I'll give him +2 AC for the next 10 minutes.
All right. So I'm at 20.
Okie doke. And I did another mistake. Sorry, gang. Suspension of action here while I copied the one that had its health already down, which of course means they all have their health down, which is not true. So I'm putting them back to where they should be. Should not have done that, but I forgot to adjust for your group and level on this group of spiders, which is what happened to begin with. They were still at the wimpy level, which you guys don't fight wimps anymore.
Nope. We fight nightmares. What?
So I've got to real quickly run through these and put their health back up. There we go. I didn't have it set to hit points. It wasn't like it was that problem, but I did copy the wrong spider. Okay. Now we have them showing, yep, they're all showing the right amount of health now. All right, on we go to giant spiders that all proceed to move in towards you. And
Yeah, they see a lightsaber, basically.
Yeah. They will, the closest two will drop on Dirok and Epotus and attempt to bite. The
Bring it
others
on.
will move behind them, and two of them will start out this way.
Oh no.
I didn't think I was seen. Like, I wasn't like, I was
No,
still
but they're
kinda-
probably aware that there's a hole there, which means that they probably are not just dumb animals.
Yeah. Okay.
They
no
probably
problem.
don't know you guys are there. They think that we're the only two, and they want to surround the two of us.
I'm going.
Yeah, they're on those
Victor!
ones that are outside the building are on the ground. They have dropped down and are chittering as they run across the ground towards the opening. And
Yeah, I think-
so we have 2 bites going on. Yeah, I'll save that. Bite on Dirok is a miss, 8. Bite on Epotus is a 14, a miss. Everything's a miss here. Definitely a miss. Alright, so the other spiders have just moved at this point, and Victor, it is your move.
Were you saying that there were some coming at us from outside?
I'm at the second I see them, I'm probably like, Victor, we have incoming.
Yeah, and I'm gonna back off anyway, since I think Fotis has the sword out. Victor's just like, well, this is just all around very unpleasant. And he's going to cast Moonbeam at level 4.
Here, there you go.
Yeah. Nice.
I put an aura on myself. I don't know if you can see it, Victor, but I'll let you know if you're getting too close.
And if you double the aura, put 2 of them on, it'll be brighter, by the way.
Add these together, it's 17.
Okay, so both of them need a con save. 2 spiders with 1 con, 2 cons, and I need a 16, which neither of them make. Yeah, there you go, Epotus. Now it's a good bright thing, so he can see where the dim light and the brilliant light start on the sword. And so they both failed and took the full 17. Let me get those off. All right. It is Dirok's turn.
I'm gonna test to see how strong these are. I am not gonna rage right now. I am gonna declare reckless attack.
Okay.
With the blood spear, one hand, normal, not the rage one. So that would be a 26.
And that definitely hits.
On the one that's on top of me.
Right, that definitely hits.
And then I will attack again.
Okay.
Which will be a 21.
So it's a total of 18 damage on that one.
On the one that's on top of me, which I'm assuming is the one to my right, basically.
Yeah, this one right here is the one's on top of you. Okay, so yeah, both of those hit, and they took the full damage on it. You can definitely see spider ichor flowing out and on top of you. It's very sticky.
Yeah.
Sylvia!
I'm just gonna yell out fire in the hole and cast the once old tried and true shatter at 5th level.
Oh great, you're gonna break more of this house.
Well, it's already broken on the side, so.
Yeah, it's pretty well down here.
So, but just for the sake of where it's located, I'm aiming it right about here. It's a 10-foot sphere.
10 foot, okay. So, let's see,
Yeah.
I think the squares are 10 feet, if I recall.
DC is wrong.
Yeah, the
The
squares
DC
are
should be.
the squares themselves are 10 feet, so that gives you a very good idea
Okay.
of how big it is. And Victor, I assume you had is it a 10-foot radius or a 10-foot diameter?
10-foot diameter. It's a 5-foot
Okay.
radius.
And Sylvia, yours was a radius or a diameter?
1 second. It says it's exactly 10-foot radius sphere centered on the point that I clicked. So I'm
Okay,
aiming
so
for
you've
it.
got two of the things. Let me draw a quick shape to
I thought I
indicate.
had 3. So if I aim it, I was aiming
It
right in
could
the
be
center.
no. I'm two of the squares. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Also the DC is borked for whatever reason. It should be a 17.
All right. So
13,
where exactly
12.
do you want this? Because you could hit more than just 2.
Let's see if I did it here. I'm at 10.
Like, see, this red circle is the.
Yeah. Yeah, I could be angled a little bit there. I know there's stuff inside, so I guess I would try to angle it to hit the maximum amount as possible.
Okay. So 4 of them would come into the radius, and you said your DC is actually what?
It should be 17. I don't know why it's reading 12. Because I'm
I'll
assuming
have to check
my
your
DC
sheet. You've got
Yeah.
something not set quite right on your charisma or something, so that it's not registering.
I'm checking on it.
And it is a
Spellcast.
con save, so I need 4 17 cons. 1,
Yeah, 1 second.
2,
I'm just double checking it real quick.
3, 4.
Okay, I got it now.
And I want, let's see, 2 of them saved. So since I would be going this way, the one at the top at the 12 o'clock position saved. The next one failed. The one at the 5 o'clock saved, and the one at the 8 o'clock failed. So they took a total of 23. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
The second one was just a test. I found where the
Yeah, I know. I'm
DC
just saying I added the 11 and the 12 right for what you intended. So 23. Yeah. So the 12 o'clock one only took 11. The next one took all 23. The next one took 11. It's starting to look pretty beat up because it took a bunch from Victor as well. And the 8 o'clock one took all 23. It is just gushing ichor out of a huge wound in its side, and 2 of its legs are missing. And
that's something.
And it is Vlad's turn.
Vlad is going to, with his action, cast Bless on Apotis, Durok, and Vic.
Okay.
So you could add a d4. For 1 minute, you could add 1d4 to every attack roll, ability check, or saving.
Okie doke. So those 3 guys can put a mark on themselves to indicate bless, so they'll remember that in case the DM forgets, as she tends to do. And you guys have extra d4 roll you can use. Apotis, with that, it is your turn.
We're gonna do first attack on the spider right in front of me with the sunblade. Do they appear to be
Did they appear to be what?
undead?
No. No, there's no indication that they're undead. They just look like big, gooey spiders. And that is
13
definitely
to
that is definitely a hit.
Presumably does not kill it.
No.
So we'll do a second one.
And that doesn't kill it either, but it's starting to look pretty wounded.
And then, yeah.
Okie doke. The spiders will bite again. And the ones here will move in on you guys and attempt to throw webs on you. The others will start, let's see, these are 10, and I've got to see what their basis of movement is. All right, it's 30, so 10, 20, 30. The others start skittering around and away from this. Let's see, your attack, Sylvia, was only an instantaneous one. Let me take that off. This one will skitter towards this way, and since that one is blocked, it has to move around. It moves through your moonbeam. Do you want to roll a new one or use that old one, Victor?
Let's stick with the existing roll until my next turn.
Very good. So it does a con save, and it rolls a 10, so it takes the 23. No, that was Sylvia's. Where's yours? What was your damage? 17. Okay, so this one takes 17. And now we have 2 bites and 2 webs to contend with. Let's go Dirok, and then Epotus on bites. Ah, Dirok got critted.
Ouch.
You will take, let's see, give me a DC 11 con save.
Con save. I am very constituted.
All right, so okay, so you take half. All right, so you take a total of 17 physical piercing damage.
Okay.
Plus 15 and half is 7 poison damage.
Okay.
Now, Epotus was missed. They did not bite. Now the webs on Victor and Sylvia. Web on Victor, 17 is an attack. Is the attack that hits? You are restrained by webbing. As an action, you can make a DC 12 strength check to burst the webbing on success. So first, Victor, you give me your DC 12 strength if you are going to make it.
It takes an action though, doesn't it?
It just said, yeah, as an action, that's true, so it'd have to be on your turn, yep. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and Sylvia, let's do your web, and 6 is a critical miss, actually. The webbing shoots over you. You're a little bit shorter than the others, and it shoots over you, and there's a big glop of webbing that lasts for a few moments in the center of the old tower, and then slowly kind of evaporates behind you. And
Smacks Vlad in the face like a wet towel.
pretty much, yeah. But yes, Victor is webbed currently.
Oh no! You have me pinned and you're going to suck out my vital fluids!
Right.
Stupid damn copycats! Come at me!
Why am I standing here? Why you?
And with that, Victor, it is your move.
Alright, Victor just stares them down, just like encased in webs like a grown man in a blanket. And
Goddamn turd. You turd.
yeah, he's just gonna move his moonbeam. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh my god, you were such a turd.
Okay, so roll for your new damage on that.
There we go!
That's very good.
BAM!
Yeah, let's see what
That's
they
the
do on
damage
that.
of a grown man wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
The lower one rolls an 8, the upper one rolls a 4. So they both fail and
34 moved me.
take 34 damage.
I feel like I'm not gonna need to do much in this fight.
Good. Save your spell slots.
There is spider goo melting on the ground, and the legs that were still remaining on these injured things are like laying in front of you, Lynn. It's in front of Sylvia, and they're twitching.
So Sylvia just saw these spiders come up right into her face, and then the Death Star follow after her.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm probably
yes.
like touching my face slightly, just being like, did I get sunburned?
And
Come
obvious,
on over, suck my blood! I'll tell you what else suck.
Seriously, don't taunt the madness.
Dirok.
I will. About how weak is the one that I've been attacking?
It looks like it's about down, getting close to half health.
And we've only killed 2 of the spiders, right? I know what I saw as Derek. We've only killed 2? Alright, yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
wouldn't
wait, what?
necessarily be certain that,
It's
but you
alright.
might hear a cheer of victory from the tower. But there are none in your view that have died, and all you know is something successful happened outside.
Alright, yeah. No, these guys kind of hurt, so I will fly into a rage! And then I'm gonna go and poke him again with the spear. Oh, nope. Before I roll, I forgot. Attack recklessly. So now I will attack.
Okay.
So 19
19 hits
and
Also
25.
feel like the bless was really
and
unnecessary.
25 hits. And with that, that is a 23. There's not much. Most of the body has been cut off, and all that remains is like these pinchers that are trying to get at you, and some of the front legs. There's just not much of this thing remaining.
Alright.
Can I just say, Dirok and I are like probably 2 of the heaviest seeming hitters, and we're just like casually trying to mow through these things, and meanwhile Victor just Death Stars.
Yeah, he does the Frieza beam.
This is what we needed in your campaign last night, Apo. You know, things that fry stuff. Sunya now takes a
the
level
innkeeper
of druid.
The innkeeper wasn't that bad.
Yes, he was.
I
was
feel like it was
He was a
mostly
bunch of
sad.
bad words that I can't say on stream.
With that, it's Sylvia's turn. There are now no spiders in front of you except their twitching remains.
Sorry, I have my stuff set up. I'm just going to point my finger at the bottom spider. This one right here. That's in still good line of sight. Like a gun, and I'm going to firebolt him.
Zap, you hit him for 6. And he
Yeah, like-
chitters madly.
Let's see here. Nope, everything else is an action. I need more bonus action spells, guys.
The lad.
Vlad is going to walk into the room. So it looks like there's one more spider at the bottom, and the 3 that Epotus and
There's
Derek
some
are doing.
more. There's some more.
I guess I'll just. Well, I don't quite have enough movement to get in front of. But I'll walk up next to Sylvia with my shield out and say, "You should probably get behind me."
For the viewers, I'm going to do something so you know why he was asking that question. This is the view that he sees of things, what I've just put on here. And he is literally blocked from viewing some of the things that are incoming. So he can only see a portion of what is coming in there. Okay, and are you doing any other action other than just talking with Sylvia?
Just walk around
I
her.
will take the dodge action.
Okay. Hippotas.
Stab at thee.
From hell I stab at thee. That is a hit, of course.
now
Let's
I feel like
see.
the last was
He's
really
still
honest.
alive.
Still alive?
Not by much, but he's kind of
Alright,
like
fine. He's gonna
Dirac.
headbutt. Yeah, he'll just freaking headbutt. Does a
That is
12 hit?
No.
Of course
Add
it
the
doesn't.
D4. Add the D4.
Oh, the D4, yeah.
That
Yeah,
hits.
16.
This is a
That
16
hits.
hit.
Yes.
Okay, he takes 5 damage from Hippotas's.
He is
Massive
still
forehead.
alive, but all he is the front legs and the head and the pinchers. That's all
Can
that
Hippotas
remains of
just
him.
like walk on him and go to the next spider? Like,
He can try. And it is the spider's turn. Both of the half spiders each tried to bite the two of you. So let's see how they do on this death attack. The one on Dirac rolls a 24. And let's see, you also had reckless attack, but that wouldn't apply because this was the highest roll.
Yeah.
So they give me another DC 11 con save.
$21, still constituted.
So you got 4 piercing damage. Let's see, are you raging now, or did you?
I'm raging now. That's what that red 9 is.
All right.
So
You take then halved. You take only 2 piercing damage and 3 poison damage.
is that poison damage already halved or no?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and then on a POTUS, a 13 is not enough to hit you. So you were missed on that one. And then the other spiders, one will move in on Vlad and Sylvia. The other one will take the dash action, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, and will come around here. And I'm going to say that this one will do the same, 20, 30, move, 10, 20, 30. Victor!
So if they're passing through the moonbeam, they'll take the damage.
No, they ran around it. The one, however,
Okay.
next to Sylvia will take it. So let me go back and look at those stats again so I get the right amount. 16, make sure what it's okay. So con save.
Yeah, it's 34.
It saves, so it's 17 that it takes.
Yeah.
That was not right. That should be that. All right. I must have hit 2 numbers. Anyway, so the moonbeam did hit that one. All right, Victor, it is now actually your turn. You also are still webbed. The webs last for several rounds.
All right. I'm going to continue to just defiantly ignore the webs, and I will throw some fire at the one in front of Sylvia,
Okay,
since it's already just standing in my moonbeam.
that is a hit.
And let me roll the updated moonbeam then.
All right.
21.
So chance, let's see, half of that would be 10. Yeah, even if it saves, it burns to a crisp.
All right. Victor kind of like stutter step, like turns over to face the other one coming from the other direction.
Kind of hop around like you're wrapped in duct tape. Dirok.
I will again attack recklessly. The
And
one
there is a
that's in front
third
of
one
me.
coming in now, as the others are being less of their bodies in the way. A third one is now attacking. All right. That is a hit.
23.
That is a hit for 10, and that's on this one. It goes away.
Alrighty. Before I make my next attack, I'm going to do my Blood Spear kill for 3 temporary hit points. And then I'm going to attack the one directly in front of Epotus, the one that's almost dead.
Okay.
Again recklessly, so this will be 24.
That one goes away. There's only one spider
Alright.
left attacking you guys. Sylvia.
I am going to re-roll my Blood Spear kill. So instead of 3, I have 7.
Right. Okay, Sylvia.
I am going to. How's the spider looking in front of me?
Yeah.
Crispy.
Okay, I had missed that because my phone had gone off. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna turn around, hearing the chittering coming from the side, and I'm going to just go. I really hate this place.
You just got here and you already hate it?
I already hate it. Since Victor doesn't seem to care very much, though I care in the sense that being clustered like this is not for the best interest, I'm going to grab onto Victor and backstep us, and see here, using Dimension Door, which should free him from the webs.
No, the webs are wrapped around him. They go with him. You can cut them. You can cut them free if you want. You are free to use a dagger or whatever to
I
cut
like
them
the
free.
idea of Sylvia reaching into this blanket of her webs, putting with him, and now she is also in the.
I would have done it arm's length, not really getting that close to it.
Yeah,
God.
she's just dragging him like as if he was wrapped in a blanket.
Pretty much. Trying to see if I have any bonus actions real quick to see what I can do anything.
Incidentally, I'm so comfy you can't even imagine it.
Do I have any?
I have a real fuzzy snuggly that I use, but I won't use it on camera.
Yeah, no, I don't have any bonus actions I can use.
Okie doke, then it's Vlad.
Yeah.
Vlad is going to come.
I'm just pointing Victor in the right direction. How's that?
Seeing that the spider in front of him got crispified, he's going to go to this doorway and do the exact same thing that he did last round.
Okay.
Stand there with his shield up, trying to be an obstacle.
All right. So no other actions.
Taking the dodge action.
Okay. Epotus.
Dirok, do you have this?
Yes.
Epotus will, I can't. Victor's right freaking there. Okay. Shoot.
You can go south and around.
You know
as
what?
well as-
Epotus is going to turn off the blade. He's gonna stow the blade, but he's gonna keep the shield and he's gonna have his other hand out, and then he is going to pass through the party, come out here, and then he is going to chill touch the closest one.
Okay.
Of course.
10 is a miss.
Of course it is.
D4!
And the spiders. One of them will attempt to attack Vlad. there, and the second one will attempt to web him. The front one...
They both attack at disadvantage.
Right. The bite at disadvantage is an 11, so it misses. The web disadvantage is a 7, so both miss. And the one in front of Dirok tries to bite. 21 is a hit, and he give me another con 11.
Ooh, I crit that.
All right, so this time you take 3 piercing damage. That is already halved.
Okay.
And you only take 1 poison damage. That's a half of a half.
Ouch. Which, by the way, I forgot to move that down 1. There.
Victor, we're getting close here.
Move my moonbeam.
You can move the moonbeam even if it's out of your sight, because that one section of wall would be out of your sight.
It doesn't have to, like, travel through like a line that I can see. It's
all right.
Otherwise I'd hit everything on the way. It basically just vanishes and reappears, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says on each of your turns after cast spell, you can use your action to move the beam 60 feet in. So he just needs to know the direction it's going.
Very good.
Yeah,
then
he
it
smells
is
like I was
there.
there
Roll your attack and damage on it. Let's see if we can put these spiders to bed, or web, as the case may be. Con on the top one, con on the bottom one. They rolled a 12 and a 21. They crit. The second one crit save. So the top one takes 23. It is alive, barely. And the bottom one saved, so it took 11. And
yeah.
it likewise is just barely alive. If it had been the one to take the full damage, it would be gone probably. All right, Dirok, you have a big spider on you again.
Yep, I am going to maneuver myself to block this way without getting out of range of its melee attacks to try to stay within range so I don't get an attack of opportunity against it.
Block this way!
And I am going to attack recklessly again. 28.
The definite hit.
And 23.
23 is a definite hit. Let me see. Yeah, that one was still full health, so it takes 23 damage. And it is Sylvia's turn.
I forgot. I actually had temp health, so I need to take that my temp health pool.
I'm going to just pick the first target that I can see past Vlad and Victor and shoot it with fire. Everything goes well with fire.
Okie doke, that is a hit for 17. That's a very powerful firebolt. 17 is enough.
Meanwhile, as she keeps doing this, she's just like, pew pew.
Vlad?
Thing is, there's only... well, never mind. I was going to say Vlad strolls out and smacks it with his mace, but there's a moonbeam in between me.
He probably could make it by running around the moonbeam, but that's a little inconvenient.
That's a little inconvenient. I think I'd rather just Sacred Flame.
Especially since there's
With
not much of it left.
4 damage.
Dex.
So DC 17 dexterity save.
It rolls a... Come on, 17.
No damage.
And it takes no damage when it saves. Okie doke. POTUS?
We're gonna take another chill touch at.
There's not much left of this spider. That wipes it off the face of the planet. Matter of fact, it kind of explodes from the inside out from its ichor freezing and blowing the rest of its body to pieces as it kind of swells up into an ice ball for a moment and then explodes. And with that, the one remaining spider will try to eat upon Dirok for dinner again, and does a 13, which is not enough. Victor.
I am going to try and break out of the web.
Okie doke. You need, strength. Let's see. Yep. Strength DC 12. You broke
a bonus from proximity to. Oh, so I did get out?
Yeah, it was only a 12, so you broke out. You are no longer webbed. And it is Dirok. Can you finish this off? You'd have to make a pretty good hit.
Is it like roughly half?
Roughly half health, yeah.
Roughly half. I'm dropping my shield and I'm going to attack recklessly two-handed.
Okay.
So that would be a
20 is a hit.
And a 14.
14 is a hit, yes, just barely.
It's a hit. Okay.
But let's see, that's 27. That's enough. You
All
are
right.
out of combat.
Let me get one spear kill. Back up to 7 again.
So we will leave it at this point with you guys kind of nursing your wounds. The moonbeam will eventually fade away, and you now can see the doors to the ballroom to the north of you. So you are aware that there are some doors that you can get into from the side.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one that got wounded that battle.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
How much are you wounded?
Not a whole lot. I only took one attack from without rage. The rest of it was rage.
Okay, so how about some lay on hands to top you back?
Do we want to waste that?
I
now?
have 40.
I can also do non-magical healing.
Well, that still uses a resource. Like mine is kind of a long rest. Hardly gets used anyway because I'm better attacking. So
what about the good berries? Did they count as a resource?
Well, he has quite a few
I have
of
10
them.
of them.
He gets a bunch of them every morning, so.
I have 10 carryover because this is what I do. I cast them before I go. I cast Goodberry before I go to bed. That way it lasts until the next dusk. So if I run out of good berries, I can just cast that again in an emergency.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay. I'm not terrible. Even I think I'm probably still more health than Apotus.
All right.
In any case.
So let's hold off on the healing for now, and we can figure that out if we get into bigger danger.
All right, so this is exactly where we will pick up next time with what you see ahead of you, and you can decide how you want to approach this building, if you want to go in through those ballroom doors or what you plan on doing. And yeah, thanks for putting the notes up there on the Shield of Face, so you'll remember that. And
Shield of Face.
And this is where we'll pick up. They have beaten off the giant spiders. Now they get to find out what other creepy crawlies remain in Argynvostholt. We will see you next week for Crone's Crucible, and we will see you in 6 days for Are You Sure?, which is turning into a really fun campaign that Kyle is running. So we hope to see you there as well on Saturday night. In the meantime,
we hope to see. We definitely love to see you there at Are You Sure? Sponsored by what this week, Capo?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Sponsored by your sense of humor.
And with that,
this is actually
so we
relevant.
owe money. Oh my
With that, we will say good night to you all, and we hope you have a great week and that we see you again next time. Good night, all.
Good night.